Ever wondered how a royal wedding turned into the world's biggest beer festival? Discover the heartwarming story behind Oktoberfest.
Joy.
Munich, in the early 19th century, was a city of cobblestone streets and red-tiled roofs, nestled between the gentle hills and the distant, snow-capped Alps. The air was crisp in autumn, carrying the scent of wood smoke and the promise of change. In the year 1810, the city was alive with excitement. Flags fluttered from windows, and the people of Munich bustled through the streets, preparing for a celebration unlike any they had seen before. The occasion was a royal wedding. Crown Prince Ludwig, the future King Ludwig I of Bavaria, was to marry Princess Therese of Saxony-Hildburghausen. The city's heart beat with anticipation. For days, bakers kneaded extra loaves, brewers filled barrels to the brim, and tailors stitched their finest clothes. The people of Munich, from the wealthiest merchants to the humblest farmers, felt a sense of pride and unity. On the 12th of October, 1810, the wedding took place. The city rejoiced as Ludwig and Therese exchanged vows in the grand church, their union symbolizing hope and prosperity for Bavaria. But the true magic began after the ceremony, when the royal couple invited all of Munich to join in the festivities. The fields just outside the city gates, later named Theresienwiese in honor of the new princess, became the stage for a celebration that would echo through the centuries. The first Oktoberfest was a simple affair by today's standards, but it was filled with joy. There were horse races, music, and dancing. Families picnicked on the grass, children played games, and the city's best brewers offered their finest beer. The laughter of the crowd mingled with the sound of hooves and the strains of folk songs. As the sun set behind the Alps, lanterns flickered to life, casting a golden glow over the fields. The festival was such a success that the people of Munich decided to repeat it the following year, and the year after that. What began as a royal celebration became a beloved tradition, growing larger and more vibrant with each passing autumn. As the years rolled on, Oktoberfest evolved. The horse races remained a highlight for decades, but new attractions were added. By the 1820s, agricultural shows showcased the bounty of Bavaria prize cattle, golden wheat, and the region's famous hops. Local craftsmen displayed their wares, and the festival became a showcase for Bavarian pride and ingenuity. The heart of Oktoberfest, however, was always the people. Farmers and townsfolk, soldiers and students, young lovers and old friends, all gathered on the Theresienwiese to share in the joy of the season. The festival was a time to set aside worries, to celebrate the harvest, and to remember that life, for all its hardships, could be sweet. Beer, of course, became central to the celebration. In the early days, local breweries set up small tents, serving their best lagers and ales in simple mugs. The beer was brewed according to the Reinheitsgebot, the Bavarian purity law of 1516, which allowed only water, barley, and hops. The result was a drink both hearty and pure, a taste of the land itself. By the late 19th century, the beer tents had grown into grand halls, each with its own character and traditions. The Hofbräuhaus, Augustiner, Paulaner, and other famous breweries built elaborate structures, decorated with garlands and banners. Inside, long wooden tables stretched from end to end, filled with people from every walk of life. Waitresses in dirndls carried armfuls of steins, their laughter ringing above the music. Music was everywhere. Brass bands played polkas and waltzes, their melodies weaving through the air. Dancers spun in circles, their feet pounding the wooden floors. The festival was a feast for the senses. The taste of roast chicken and pretzels, the smell of sausages sizzling over open fires, the sight of lanterns swaying in the night breeze. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that bring history's greatest mysteries to life. Oktoberfest weathered the storms of history. In the year 1870, the festival was cancelled as Bavaria went to war with France. In the early 20th century, the world changed again. 2 world wars, economic hardship, and political upheaval threatened the tradition. But each time, when peace returned, the people of Munich gathered once more on the Theresienwiese, determined to celebrate life and community. The festival became a symbol of resilience. In 1949, just 4 years after the end of the Second World War, Oktoberfest returned. The city was still scarred by conflict, but the festival offered hope, a chance to rebuild, to remember, and to look forward. Families who had lost everything found comfort in the familiar rituals, the tapping of the first keg, the raising of steins, the singing of old songs. As the decades passed, Oktoberfest grew beyond Munich. Visitors from around the world flocked to Bavaria each autumn, eager to experience the magic for themselves. The festival became a global phenomenon, with celebrations in cities from Cincinnati to Sydney. But at its heart, Oktoberfest remained true to its roots, a celebration of community, tradition, and the simple joys of life. The people who make Oktoberfest special are as varied as the festival itself. There is the brewer, rising before dawn to check the kettles and taste the wort, his hands stained with hops and pride. The waitress, balancing 6 steins in each hand, her smile as warm as the beer she serves. The bandleader, coaxing music from his trumpet, his eyes shining as the crowd claps along. The family, gathered around a table, sharing stories and laughter as the night deepens. For the children, Oktoberfest is a wonderland. The fairground sparkles with lights, and color carousels spin. Ferris wheels rise above the tents, and the air is filled with the scent of candied almonds and gingerbread hearts. Youngsters clutch balloons and prizes, their faces sticky with sugar and joy. For the elders, the festival is a time to remember. They recall the first Oktoberfests they attended as children, the taste of their first beer, the songs their parents sang. They watch as new generations take their place at the tables, the circle of tradition unbroken. Oktoberfest is more than a festival, it is a living story, written anew each year by the people who gather on the Theresienwiese. It is a story of love and laughter, of hardship and hope, of a city and a people who know how to celebrate life. Today, Oktoberfest is the largest folk festival in the world. Each year, millions of visitors raise their steins, dance to the music, and join in the chorus of Ein Prosit der Gemütlichkeit, a toast to cheer and good company. The festival lasts 16 to 18 days, beginning in late September and ending in early October, a tradition that ensures the best weather for celebration. The heart of Oktoberfest beats strongest in the small moments. A father teaching his daughter to dance, friends reuniting after years apart, strangers sharing a table and becoming friends by night's end. It is in the clink of glasses, the warmth of a shared meal, the sound of voices raised in song. So, the next time you see a stein of golden beer, hear the strains of a Bavarian waltz, or taste a fresh pretzel, remember the story of Oktoberfest. Remember the royal wedding that started it all, the generations who kept the tradition alive, and the city that opens its arms to the world each autumn. Remember that history is not just made by kings and battles, but by the everyday joy of people coming together. Oktoberfest is a celebration of life itself, a reminder that no matter what the world brings, there is always a reason to gather, to sing, and to raise a glass to the future. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Oktoberfest, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. There are more stories waiting to be told right here.